very good afternoon to all the participating teachers. We have with us Dr. Shilpa Suri, who is MA in psychology from Punjab University Chandigarh, PhD in psychology from Punjabi University Patiala, and she is running one IAS academy named as SNM Academy. I welcome Dr. Shilpa Suri
Thank
and
you, sir.
request you to kindly interact with the participating teachers.
Thank you, Dr. Sunil Dutt, for such a warm invitation and this lovely introduction. And I'm very glad that so many people are connected with us for this session on motivating ourselves and motivating others. Sir said it very rightly that unless we are able to do it for ourselves, we will never be able to do it for others. You cannot ever give from an empty cup. Right. So you're very motivated, you're all gung ho, ready to take things on. And for a week, 10 days, it goes like that. It's exactly how, what happens with resolutions. New Year resolution again, 1st of January is around the corner, and we start thinking, okay, this is what I will do, or this is I would start with. However, we have realized over the period of time that, first 15 days in January, you stick around, and then gradually the enthusiasm, it starts wearing away. So today's session is more about how to make such resolutions, as in how to, have a very conviction-oriented mindset about whatever you desire to achieve personally, professionally, and the relationship front, emotionally, etc., etc., and how to maintain that particular behavior. Right. So there are a lot of things that you would already know. I can't deny that, but there are a lot of new things that you will get to know today. So I'd request all of you to please hold a pen and a paper in hand while you're attending to this session. We will straight away go to reasons for lack of motivation, right? So we call it either adversity quotient, we call it grit, we call it perseverance to stay in a task over a longer period of time. But what is it? Like we, most of us, or rather all of us, we know what is important for us when it comes to health, what is important for us when it comes to professional development, right? What would it take to become cognitively more aware? We know the what of it. But the problem is figuring out the how and then sticking to that process. Right. So, despite the fact that all of us we understand what is to be done, what are the obstacles that are stopping us from doing what is needed to be done? The first obstacle is your current environment. Where are you? And when I say your current environment, it does not just mean the physical environment, it means much more and beyond, right? So the people you are in touch with, the content you consume, the books you read, the TV shows that you watch, uh, the podcasts that you listen to, so that makes your environment, right? There's a very beautiful line written on on your screen: to be the Mount Everest, you need to be in the Himalayas. Please do a mental audit of the most significant people in your life. Because you're a sum total of five most significant people in your life, right? If you're wanting to become fit, if that's your goal, you can't be surrounded with lazy people and who are who are procrastinators. Rather, you have to look for a little community who are really very serious about health and fitness, right? They would eat healthy, they will go out for walks, or they will have some kind of a regime, correct? And their presence is going to inspire you to do the same. Right. So if you really feel that you have been procrastinating certain things in the past, and you know what is to be done, yet you are showing a lot of inertia, the first thing I would ask you to do is audit the people around you. Right? What kind of conversations do you have with such people? Isn't it most of the times, when you sit together, rather when we sit together, we are discussing other people. We are discussing what is not okay. The system is like that, politics is like that, government is like that, institution is like that. Right. So see, there is so much of problem focused conversations that we are having. Then how would we have a solution orientation towards that problem? How do you feel energized that, okay, there's something that is needed to be done? Isn't it? There are people like, you must have heard of this organization called Robin Hood Army, right? Started by one person, and how they are meeting the hunger and the education needs of so many others. There is Khalsa Aid. Imagine if these people will also sit and just discuss problems, how would it work? Right. So, very important that we need a mastermind circle, whichever area of your life you want to improve on. It is your health, it is your professional growth, it is your psychological strength, it's your spiritual development. Find out today that what is it that your priority, to make a very honest admission. My health is my priority at this time. I've been doing enough and very well in my career, my relationships. I'm psychologically, emotionally healthy, but I have given so much of time to all this that in the last 1 year, I feel I've put on a lot of weight. Okay, so my health is my priority, and that is what I'm working on. So obviously, I have asked a friend to come to a walk with me every morning. I have told my son that we will go for a walk every evening. So you develop that little small community, or simply put, an accountability partner who is going to support you in that area of your life where you are looking for an immediate change in. Correct? So I'm going to give you a lot of tasks in for the next half an hour. So your first task would be to point out or to recognize that one area which you would like to start working on immediately, without any delay. Correct? So that's your first question. Identify that area for yourself. And once you've identified your area, recognize the people. That is your second task. You have to recognize those people who can be your allies, who can be your accountability partners to support this particular journey, or be with you while you have started working on that particular project. Right? Let's suppose you want to write a research paper, or let's suppose you want to start reading a lot of books. Okay, find out someone who would read the books with you, and then after every 3 4 days you can speak to each other on phone and exchange. Okay, what did you read, what did you get out of that? That kind of a thing keeps you going. So first and foremost, we need to audit our environment, and we to weed out people who you think are not going to support you in that particular journey, and look for people who will be your support partners. That's the first tip for all of you. The second important reason why people are not motivated enough, because they don't take responsibility, that they don't take ownership of their lives. And we are always looking for someone, a person, or a situation or circumstances outside them on whom they can put the blame for their current situation. I am here because my parents did not have enough money. I am like this because my boss is not treating me too well. I have this kind of a temperament because I don't get along too well with my wife, isn't it? So we hold other people responsible for how we feel and what we do and what we are not able to do. So we have to move from the tenant mentality to ownership mentality. Life will not change unless you actually hold the steering wheel of your life in your hand and row it and take it in the direction that you want to. Isn't it? When we drive a car, we are in charge. Correct? However, when we are living a life, we are kind of giving this whole power to people around us. How legit is that? How justified are we doing that? So please stop projecting what is not okay in your life and stop making other people scapegoats. Take 100% ownership of your life. You got to be the driver of your life. You need to decide where you are and where would you like to take it, and everything in between. Right? There is a way to deal with a difficult boss. There is always strategies to deal with a difficult spouse. There is always a way to handle difficult children. Learn it. There are books available on every subject. I promise you that. You don't want to buy books. We spend so much of time on social media. Cut down on that. Utilize your digital time on enriching yourself with something that is more knowledgeable, that is more useful for you. Right? Read articles on certain difficult phases of your life that probably you are going through. Somebody might be going through a separation. Somebody might be going through a financial crunch. Somebody might have some kind of a person in your family who's sick, who is unwell. Maybe you yourself are kind of fighting a disease. Maybe, I do not know. Start reading about dealing with difficult situations rather than victimizing yourself and beating yourself up for the situations or the circumstances, or holding people and projecting our problems and our difficulties on other people. That's the tip number 2. So now the second task that I would like to give you is, please sit down and recognize the area where you're not taking the ownership of your life. I can simply explain it to you that I want to become fit, but I can't get up in the morning. Why can't you get up in the morning? Instead of saying I cannot get up in the morning, or I have to get up or I should get up in the morning, say, if I want, I could get up in the morning. The thing is, you don't want to do it. We find time for everything that we want to do. For the rest, we are just talking. Isn't it? So, move from have to choose to. Don't say I have to get up. No, say I choose to get up in the morning because I desire a better, and a healthier and a more fit body. Correct? So move yourself from the situation where there is pressure from outside or there are people whom you can blame, to a situation where you take onus or charge of your life. The third reason why people are not able to muster the energy and the courage to bring about a change in their life or initiate something is the stories that we tell ourselves in our head. I am a victim, you don't know what happened to me, or we keep telling ourselves, I can't do that, it's just not possible for me, I have never do that, I have never done that, I can't take initiative, I can't do public speaking, oh, I'm very bad at communication. Brilliant. So please, I mean, take an audit again, be very mindful of the language that you talk to yourself in, because a lot of things are not initiated because of the story, because of this conversation that we have in our head before we initiated that particular thing. So yeah, I want to start with the walks. No, I can't get up in the morning, I have never done that, I'm not a morning person, I am a night person. You make me do anything till 2 o'clock 3 o'clock at night, but don't ask me to get up in the morning. Brilliant, then take care, stay with the body that you are in, isn't it? Or I don't have public speaking skills, or I don't have people skills, my communication is very poor, I have never done that, I have never thought of getting into that area, that is not my strength. If that's how you talk to yourself, you don't need an enemy in your life, you're enough, you're sufficient. Okay. Also, let me just tell you, because this is also about motivating others. So, not only do we beat ourselves up, or we have these limiting beliefs about ourselves, this is the language that we speak in to others as well. You are useless. You are a moron. I have to tell you 100 times a particular thing, then also you can't get it right. Right. So these are the, adjectives that we use for people, especially children and students and people who are powerless or less powerful than us. Isn't it? You're miserable. Your life is going to be like that. If you don't study, you become a chana kulcha wala boy. This is the kind of prayers that we send, and this is the kind of energy that we send to our children. If you don't do this, this would happen. Right? I have already told you so many times, you cannot do mathematics, correct? So today you are telling them this, tomorrow they will prove you right. Why? Because repeatedly hearing, you are not good at this, you are not capable, you are not good enough, tomorrow it will become their inner voice. Then they would not need you to tell them how bad they are. They would know it already. Where do you think these inner stories, these voices, they are coming from? Our parents. We've been repeatedly told so many things. तुमसे कुछ नहीं होगा. You can't do anything. You can't even do one thing correctly. And then we expect our children to outperform the rest of the children with all this we are talking to them about. Isn't it? So, this inner critic, this critical inner voice, it does not allow us to take much of action. Isn't it? Rather, I would say, it demotivates us and it tells us, don't even try because you're going to fail anyway. Why do you want to go through that whole process? Why do you want to take that experience, that failure? It predicts failure, whereas the reality is that you're not even tried, isn't it? So what we start doing, we start compromising on our goal, isn't it? So once upon a time it was UPSC, then it became state civil services, then it became something else, and without even trying, we settled for something which probably is one of the compromises that we have done in our life. We were so scared to try something new. Okay, so another very important thing that you need to do is, please be very mindful of how you talk to yourself or how you explain something to yourself when you're not wanting to initiate that activity. Listen to that voice and then try to change that voice to something which is more affirmative, which is more assertive. That, okay, maybe what you're saying is correct. Let me just try. Let me just do it once and see what happens for sure. Isn't it? So really behave as if we are fortune tellers and we can foresee our futures and we can foresee other people's futures as well. So, a real motivator is someone who encourages. A real motivator is someone who appreciates, who uplifts, who energizes, and who show trust and faith in other people's and personal capacity. Are you showing faith in your own capacity? Are you showing faith in other people's capacity? Do you trust them with their ability? Or you are the one, the patriarch, the authoritative, autocratic leader who tells them, hey, forget it, you can't do it. Or I'll show you how is it to be done. Figure it out. Today, just audit your interactions with self and other people, and lot of answers you will figure out then, that why this inertia, why laziness, why procrastination, why I do not have the energy to initiate an activity, and if somehow I'm able to initiate it, why is it and I'm not able to stay there for very long, right? So we ourselves, we create so much of chaos in our head, and then we get completely lost in that chaos. Bring clarity in your thoughts, and sometimes it is difficult to deal with the thoughts, so that's why I said start focusing on the language, because language is something a little more tangible than thought, right? So we talked about three things. Check your environment, who all are people that you mingle with. Find out your mindset. Do you take ownership of what is happening in your life, or you try to find out scapegoats onto which you can project your failures and disabilities? And what kind of language do you talk to yourself in, and how do you interact with people around you? Are you really encouraging, or you have this tendency of being a fault finder all the time? If you fall in the latter category, one, people will not like you at all. Two, you're not being helpful to anyone, to self or to others. You need to work upon it, making a shift from being a fault finder to being a solution finder, right? And another major reason why we do not initiate activities, or we keep on, procrastinating, is we feel that we have a lot of time. The session has just begun, and there is a lot of time in the presentations of the research paper, or any conference to happen, or any assignment to turn in, isn't it? Abhitu, there is a lot of time. There's still a lot of time, and we become passive, and we start investing ourselves into entirely, I would say, useless activities. Social media or digital media being one of them. I wonder what we are gaining out of them. Do it, but have a certain time allocated to it. I run this program by the name Think Like a Monk and Work Like a Warrior. When you are in your work mode, if you really want to be productive, right? Just keep your phone away from you for a little while. I know you will say, ma'am, you have no idea. We have WhatsApp messages to respond to, and lot of communication happens on the phone. I get that. I completely get that. If somebody has dropped in a WhatsApp message and if it is really urgent, I promise you this person will call you. They will not keep hanging on or waiting for you to see the WhatsApp and then respond to them. Isn't it? Because once this phone comes in our hand, then we have no idea. Then we are just hopping between three or four different applications. From Facebook we switch to WhatsApp, from WhatsApp we switch to Instagram, from Instagram you just keep scrolling through your mails, not responding to them, not doing anything constructive about them, right? This is how social media is a time black hole. It's a Bermuda Triangle for time. You pick up the phone and 1 hour is lost. You pick up your phone another time, another 45 minutes gone, and you have no idea what did you do in the last 1 hour, 45 minutes. Right? And so much of our productive daytime goes into this. So there is a very simple formula for being productive, which is 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of productive work, and 8 hours for everything else. And that 8 hours of everything else includes everything from looking after your kitchens to looking after your house to looking after your children to doing the shopping and the other market work and all the socializing and other kind of things. If you really want to be productive in your life and you really want to feel that energy of being someone who is productive and effective, don't compromise on your sleep. Give yourself 6 to 8 hours a day. And then 8 hours of undivided work you do. In between, then you don't, and I'm not saying 8 hours straight, please, we are no machines. You ought to have breaks. We have lunch breaks and we have coffee breaks and tea breaks and, you know, whatever. But when you're doing something productive, like at this moment I'm doing something productive, to a hell with my phone and to a hell with the call bell and everything else, I am just here. And this 1 hour, if you're also listening to me in an undistracted manner, if you're taking your notes, right, and you're also away from all the distractions, this is going to be a very productive 1 hour for you as well. So chalk out things, take your life in your hand. Take charge of your life. Now, what we do is either we are worrying about what will happen or we are fretting over what has happened. And what we are losing here is the current moment. So much time is lost between worrying about future and fretting about the past. But the thing is that if at all something has to be achieved, it has to be achieved or it can only be achieved by working in this current moment, which we are completely wasting. Right? So please stop waiting for some ideal circumstances to happen when you will learn a new skill or when you will make a certain change. That moment is now. Most of us, I'm sure, on this call will be other side of 30, other side of 40, other side of 50. How many more working years do we have? If you're working in a job, I still have a lot of choice because I'm doing my own work. So I can work for as long as I want to. But when you're in a job, obviously people get retired out of their jobs. How are you making the best of this opportunity? The job that you wanted so badly and then you got it also. How are you contributing? Tell me, please. How are you adding value to your institution? Just think about it today. Because teaching is not just about holding classes and finishing curriculum and syllabus. No, it is about making an impact. Isn't it? It's about, directing this young generation towards higher goals in their lives or paving way for them or helping them carve out their own niches. So how are you making the best of your time? So each day, it's an account, it's a bank account that comes to you with 24 hours. And if you can utilize those 24 hours and you can make the best of it, or it is completely eliminated out of your account. So become aware, become time conscious, is my message to all of you. Media makes us completely time unconscious. That's how we don't get to know. No, we don't even realize when the time is lost and where the time is gone. We have no idea about that. The next reason why people do not feel motivated enough is that we focus a lot on failure, isn't it? We focus a lot on what if it does not happen, what might go wrong, or what is absent in me, what is it that I lack. Please shift for. We all know what is not okay, what is wrong. Trust me, we all know it. What is wrong in me? What is wrong in my spouse? What is wrong in my subordinates? What is wrong in my boss? We all know that. May I ask you what is right? What is right in you? What is right in your spouse? What is right in your children? What is right in your boss, your subordinates, your colleagues? So from today, try to become a yes brain person from a no brain person. When I say no brain, I don't mean that we don't know anything. I simply mean rather than scanning your environment for what is not right, ra- let's get into this habit of scanning our environments for what is right. What is good in my child? What is his strength? What is my wife's capacity, or what is my husband's good aspects of his nature, or healthy aspects of his nature? The more you would start looking for healthy things, positive things, nourishing things, supporting things, more energetic you feel like investing in your lives. There's less of complaint, there is less of cribbing, there is less of criticism. These three C's, please stay away from them if you want to excel. Complaining, cribbing, criticizing. It's very negative thing to do, and it takes a lot of your constructive energy, right? Think about what works. Think about what is it that you are good at. Think about which area or field do you want to excel in, or you have already excelled in. So many of these young students, they come to me, they want to prepare for the interviews, and the first question is, ma'am, what if we don't make it? I said, what if you make it? Why think about why think it is not going to work in my favor? What is stopping you from thinking that, what if it really works in my favor? Are you prepared? Okay, so basically, why we feel sometimes not enough motivated is because we feel that the goal is very far. It's too big a thing to achieve, or it's too overwhelming for me, and it seems so far and so undoable. Okay, now let's look at GPS, Global Positioning System. So when you use GPS, there are two requirements of GPS. The GPS asks you for two bits of information. Can you tell me? What is it that you have to punch in? What is it that you have to type in when you're using a GPS? Anyone?
It's our location and the set location that we want
Thank
to
you.
reach in.
Thank you, Viruna. Yes. You type your current location and you type your destination. That's precisely what is needed when we set up our goals also in life. Where am I today? Right. So as I said, that I really want to work on my health. So I weighed myself and I figured it out. Where am I today? Correct. And then I set up a very attainable, achievable target, and I'm giving myself say 3 months for that. Okay, that's where I desire to achieve. That's what I desire to achieve. Correct. Now, the problem that we have is that we'll obsess ourselves with the goal. I have to lose weight, I have to lose weight. First of all, it is so important to figure out how much weight do I want to lose in how much time. That is quantifying your goals. Okay, like you say, I want to write a research paper. Don't say, I want to write a research paper. Tell yourself that I would like to finish writing a research paper in next 2 months. Correct? Once you have given yourself a tangible goal and you have set up a deadline for yourself, forget about it. Now you don't have to do anything about either the goal or the deadline. It's a well thought of, I would say, quantification of goal and figuring out the deadline. Now, what you need to do is set up the process right. SOPs. We have SOPs for everything. Isn't it anybody? What is the full form of SOP?
Yes, madam. Standard operating procedure.
Standard operating procedure.
Thank you so much. Standard operating procedure. So now you have to set up an SOP for yourself to figure out to work out that goal. So please give yourself very, I would say, goals that are achievable, and they need they're little challenging. Don't give yourself extremely challenging goals. Like we always say that someone who's scoring a 75 can, set up a goal to go up to 80, but not to 95 straight away. Isn't it? So set up very, and if you're 75, if you target 76, that's also not something very exciting, isn't it? So give yourself a goal where there is a bit of challenge involved, and which is not too easy or too difficult to achieve. And please quantify that goal in the sense that there's some deadline or some stipulated time that you're giving to yourself. Once it is done, now you see that this is the kind of time span that I have, and this is the amount of work that I need to complete, and simple division formula, right? If 20 mangoes are to be divided amongst 10 people, it is 2 mangoes each. So similarly, if this much of work is to be finished in these many hours, these many days, months and weeks, what is it that I want to or I need to accomplish per day? Okay? It's a very beautiful analogy that makes things very easy to understand. And I would ask this from all of you. How do we eat a pizza? Let's suppose you ordered pizza and the pizza is delivered, and you're all sitting and you open the pizza box. Now, what is the next step? Like, how do you eat it? What do you do to eat that pizza? What is the SOP of eating a pizza? Do you put the whole thing in your mouth? Yes, absolutely, Menaka ma'am. We slice it and share it. And the slice that you have your hand, you have it bite by bite, small bites. And the contrary happens when we eat a burger. Everything is, put one on the top of the other. You dig into a burger and there it goes. It's all over the place. So the tasks that we need to complete, these are the 6 tasks, 6 slices of pizza, one task at a time, one bite at a time, one slice at a time. And then how much can you eat in a day? Isn't it? No matter how hungry you are, there's a limit to how much you can eat. Similarly, no matter how, I would say, how motivated you are, please understand, have a realistic timetable for the day. There needs to be some time for brain reset, for some relaxation, for some hobbies and entertainment and socialization. Right? So take away your focus on failure. Rather make a goal, create a goal. And once you've set up a goal, forget about the goal also. Now it is in your head. Now set up the everyday routine that you need to follow to achieve that goal. And it is very easy to, follow systematic and structured routines. And you cannot take hold of your destiny. You can only take hold of or take care of your habits. Your habits take care of your destiny. Remember that. So it's the everyday rituals that we need to work upon if you really want to work systematically, consistently, and the results will surprise you. You will be astonished to see how much you have accomplished over the period of time. Right? So rather than fearing failure, start, I would say, visualizing success and break down what is needed to be done to achieve that success to sizable, everyday, pocket size, bite size goals. They keep you going, they keep you so energized. Okay? And after talking about what are the obstacles, as Sir said, my job is to give you tools. The first tool that I would share with you is that when you set up a goal for yourself, decide with all the conviction, right? So, again, let's suppose you want to read a few number of books in a year, okay? Sit down and tell yourself, why do you want to read so many books? There is a three-step process that you follow. The first step is what? What is it that I want to achieve? Is it a personal goal? Is it a health goal? Is it a professional goal? Is it a relationship goal? Is it a spiritual goal? Figure it out. Now, again, I have given you this homework. You need to spend some time on this. What is that immediate concern? Or probably, let's make all these heads: physical health, spiritual development, emotional well-being, social uh, competence, okay, and write down under each of these heads what is it that you would like to work upon. Once you have decided this is what I want to do, the next target would be, how am I going to do that? What process does it need to follow? Correct. So let's suppose we take up this example of losing weight, right? So what am I supposed to do? I just need to have some regime of physical fitness and physical health, right? Do I want to go for walks? Do I want to start with some yoga classes, or do I hit the gym? What is it that will work for me, and how do I work on my eating habits? What are the changes that I make to my routine? Do I cut down on tea, or I add a fruit to my diet? Simple things, my dear friends, very simple things. How specific actions that you need to take to realize what you want to achieve. And the third question is, why do I want to do that? And this is the very important question. Now, if I ask myself, why do I want a healthy or a fitter body? In the long run, I would say because I want to remain disease free. I don't want to be a burden on my children or my spouse when I grow old. I want to have a fit body because I would like to be contributive till the last day of my life. My idol is Dr. Abdul Kalam. He passed away while he was delivering a lecture in IIM somewhere in the east. Uh, I'm forgetting the place, Kanam. I'm forgetting the name of the place. So you can only be effective or productive or contributive if this instrument that God has given to you is working well, right? So my why of exercising every day or looking after my health every day is because I want to remain fit and contributing and don't want to become a burden on my family. And every time in the morning when I'm not, because it's cold now, right? It's so difficult to leave the bed in the morning. So every time I feel like sleeping a little more, I tell myself, hey, do you remember the promise that you've made to yourself? Do you remember that you want to be a contributive member of the society? Do you remember that you don't want to be a burden on your family or anybody else around you? You better leave the bed, get into your shoes, and go out for your walks. Right? So that conviction, that why is very important, isn't it? So find out a superordinate goals of why if you really want to stick around with the schedule that you chalk out for yourself. And when you make the decision, just keep reminding yourself of the why, and you are accountable. You are accountable. That's why I said having an accountability partner really helps. Have a friend who has similar goals as you have. Have a colleague who has similar interests as you have. Make them your buddy and give yourself targets and tell each other that ask each other how much have you done. Like when we were young, when we got to know that one of our classmates has completed the syllabus and we are still 3 chapters to go, remember how we used to feel, my god, he's done it all and I'm still to do so much. And we used to sit and study and spend more time on finishing the subjects. We all need a buddy. We all need an accountability partner. Search for one. And you don't have to have one accountability partner. You can have many accountability partners for different spheres of your life. Somebody can be your accountability partner in the professional sphere. Somebody can be your accountability partner or your buddy in your fitness sphere, right? And you're answerable to him. And as an accountability partner, you question that person's progress also. This is the way we keep ourselves and others on track. How much have you completed? How much could you do? We often have started wearing Fitbits on our wrists. Aren't they our accountability partners when it comes to number of steps you've walked in a day? And when you fall short of it, you tell yourself, damn, I could not, reach my target. Simple activity, counting your steps. That's it. So Fitbit is an accountability partner. Only thing is doesn't question you, just gives you feedback on how you've performed on a particular day. But when you have a live dynamic accountability partner, they have this capacity to motivate you too, right? So first things first, figure out your why. Second thing, see, develop positive daily habits. You can't eat your pizza in one go, my dear friends. Look at this equation on the presentation. So if you're not doing anything 365 days in a year, at the end of the year, you're as good or bad as what you were on the first day of the year. No change, no growth, no progress, no development, nothing. Rather, I would say this is still mathematics where 1 to the power 365 is 1. If you're not doing anything, I promise you, it's less than 1 at the end of the year. You've probably added more weight, or you have not updated your skills. You don't know what's the latest happening in your field, isn't it? So automatically, there is a regression. Look at the next equation, 1.01 to the power 365. Goodness gracious, you do only 100th part of 1, isn't it? 100th part of 1 is 0.01. You make small little change in your daily activities. You are renewed 37% by the end of the year. 33% of your body, your mind is altogether a new version of you. By putting in, or by changing, or by committing to only 0.01% change every day. So, your next assignment, your next activity that you need to do, here is the list of 4 spheres or 4 areas in your life: physical well being, cognitive growth, psychological strength, and spiritual healing. Okay? After this session gets over, you have to find out what is it that I can do every day in all these 4 zones exclusively, so that 2000 January 2024, I'm a renewed person. And let me give you an example. If you cut down on 1 cup of tea a day, or maybe 1 spoonful of sugar a day, it is 365 cups of tea in a year, and 365 spoons of sugar in a year, which would account to at least about 3 kgs sugar less. Think about it. If you commit that you will walk just 2 kilometers a day, it is nothing. Trust me, 2 kilometers is just nothing. It is 60 kilometers in a month into 12, 7,200 kilometers in a year. Can you imagine the compounding effect? Friends, we really underestimate the power of small little steps that are taken on everyday basis. Big dreams, big goals, have them all. Life is all about having a larger vision. Great, Virul. If you're able to do it every day, you know the magic. You know how it works. Wonders for us. है ना? So 6 pages, reading 6 pages every day into 30, 180 pages. It's roughly one book, 12 books or 10 books in a year. What a gift, right? So please stop obsessing yourself with big goals and, very difficult dagon. We don't need to do all that. Life is simple, very simple. All it is needed is to break it down to perfect. Even though 2 pages a day, the day you have more time, make it four. Some days you have more time, 6 pages, isn't it? So work on every day. I would say activities, and gift yourself a new you in the coming year. And please don't wait for 1st January. Resolutions are made every year and then they are lost also every year. Start today. It is what? It is just about 3, 3:15, 3:20, right? Before end of the day. You cut down on 1 tablespoon of sugar today. Why? Because it is what, 13th or 14th December today. 15 days of December, if you practice such things, there is a greater likelihood that from 1st January onwards, you will stick around to that practice rather than starting something new. Why wait for a new calendar year, for a new month, for a new week? No, do it today is the attitude that we all need. And the last thing that I wish to share with you is learn to control the controllables. One of the greatest problems or I would say struggles, that dampen our motivation is that we start focusing on things that we cannot control. We start focusing on the result. Result is not in our hand. Even Krishna said it in Gita. Focus on your karma. Don't bother about the results. Because if the karma is right and effective, the result is bound to happen. Newton's law. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Just be bothered about the action. The reaction will come. It will automatically happen. Don't you worry about that. So stop obsessing, beating yourself up, sabotaging, foretelling, overthinking about what will happen in the future. It is not in our hands, my dear friends. The moment that we have in our hand is now, this current moment. You must have heard it. That's why it's called present, a gift. Make the best of it. Right? So you can see on your screen there's a circle of influence in the outer concentric pink circle. It is called a circle of concern. So circle of influence is something where everything you can control falls in. For how long do you sleep? How many hours of productive work you indulge in? Right? What kind of food do you eat? What kind of people do you spend your time with? How much time you waste? What time you sleep? What time you get up? What social media sites you visit? What articles do you read? These are all the things that you have in your control. But the things that you do not have in control is the parents that you are born to. You can't do anything about it. Isn't it the boss or the subordinates or the colleagues that you work with? If they are difficult, they are difficult. You can't help it. You can only work upon your reactions to their actions. You can convert them into responses and stop getting bothered by the circus that they create outside of in the environment. Don't be a part of the chaos or the circus, right? Be so calm and peaceful, doing what is right and effective, that you pull them in your calm rather than getting sucked in their chaos. Isn't it? When will you lose weight is not a question. What are you doing today to get where you want to be is the question. Right? So always, whenever you feel little disheartened, little dismotivated, please sit down, pick up a pen and paper, right, and divide it into two halves. And on the one side of the paper, please write down what is it that I can control. On the other side of the paper, please write down what is it that I cannot control. Right? And here are the list of things, friends, that you can manage or can control. How you spend your free time, whether you're getting enough sleep or not. People keep on, watching their screens late till night. Why are we doing that? We tell our children not to do that. But aren't we all guilty of these pleasures? Right? take a break whenever you are tired. Keep, I would say, challenging yourself every day by trying new things, right? If you are tired, sit down, and once you have regained your strength, start working again or start trying again. How you're treating, contributing to the family, and how you're treating people around you. How do you respond to the challenges? Do you seek help when you are in a problem? Ask yourself all these questions. Please take a screenshot of this slide if you want to, because these are the things that you can control, right? So, I mean, setting up goals, I think, needs a lot of thinking, and following that, what needs thinking is the structure that you give to your life, that SOPs that we talked about, standard operating procedure. What's that? You just need to stick to that procedure because you have a why in your mind, right? So I have talked about three things to stick to the routine. One, start with why. Why do I want to do that? Second thing, do something small every day, or don't do something small every day in order to achieve what you want to achieve. And then, along with doing this, have an accountability partner. Mind your thoughts, mind your language. How are you talking to your own self? What story are you telling to your own self when it comes to achievement? Prepare a have done list. Yes, that's another assignment for all of you. What uh, gives us anxiety is ye bhi karna hai, ye bhi karna hai, ye bhi karna hai, abhi this is to be done, this is still to be done. Today, to really feel good about yourself, prepare a have done list. All that you have achieved till date, all the degrees, the conferences, the house that you live in, if you own it or you have earned it, right? The car that you drive, the job that you are in, lovely family that you are nurturing, all those things that you think you're proud of. Please make a list of all those things. Keep looking at those that have done. Like, you remember we used to have photos kept in a what was it called? Now we have digital photos. So we used to sometimes go through the album, and it used to feel so good. Yeah, you remember those days, and you relive those memories. Similarly, your have done list is like the memory of the achievements and the good things that you've already done in your life. So after I finish, I have given you six tasks. Identify the area that you need to work upon. ये देखिए, physical, cognitive, psychological, spiritual. Out of these, what area do you pick up? What are the steps that you would like to take up? Develop your standard operating procedure. What all things you will do in your routine? Delete from your routine, right? Who is your going to be your accountability partner in this particular thing? And what are the things that you can control in your life? And your fifth task, of course, is to list or to create your have done list, right? So these are the small little changes. When you introduce these small little changes in your life every day, you will really make yourself proud with the consequence of the end result that would happen as a result of this perseverant effort that you have shown over the period of time. So that is all I wanted to share with all of you. I hope you would find it useful. I mean, these are the things that I practice every day, so I know it for sure that they are all scientific, techniques which, when implemented, gives us brilliant results in the long run. Right? Thank you so much, Dr. Sunil Dutt. It's over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. So now a small task. I think please write at least 2 to 3 strategies by which you have motivated yourself. What do you do to motivate yourself? One is you have said that reading a book. Okay. One response is that meditation and yoga. Okay. Preparing articles. Watching motivational videos is another response. Yes, very nice. Splitting your work into small parts, because sometimes the task seems so large that you do not get any, you see, inspiration. So you break down the task into sub components, and you can begin with one component, and once it is over, you feel very happy. So then you will take up the second task. And many a times we also, you see, celebrate the activity which we have carried out with our colleagues by over a cup of tea. For example, घर में भी जैसे हम कई बार करते हैं ना, ये बच्चों को कहते हैं कि भी if we do all these things today, we will have lunch outside. Okay, so thinking about past achievement while facing negativity, that you have done a lot, yes, I can do it. Whenever you मतलब कि you feel yourself in some negativity, you can say yes, I can do it. Yes, if you say 10 times yes, I can do it, definitely you will get lot of energy, and you will be able to complete the task. Yes, any other? Value the time. Okay, it means you have to be organized. Okay, you have to have control on your time, and not letting time control you. You see, time is a very important component, and is a very important resource. And this resource has been provided by Almighty God, in equal amount to all of us, whether the person is rich or poor, whether the person is intelligent or ignorant. Everybody has got 24 hours a day or 365 days a year. Now you see, you have to, you should not, you see, procrastinate. आपने before you go to bed, or before you leave your office, please prepare a to do list for next day. How many of you are preparing a to do list for next day? मुझे बताइए. Virul Gupta ji, you have said, are you preparing on a piece of paper, or you are just simply keeping in your mind that okay, I'll do tomorrow? Yes, you said that I make every night on paper. और जब आप सुबह जाते हैं, प्लीज उस फॉर नेक्स्ट डे, और जब आप जाते हैं तो इफ सम टास्क इज टू बी, यू सी, डेलीगेटेड, वो आप दे देते हैं. 11-12 बजे आप उसको मॉनिटर करते हैं, एंड बिफोर लीविंग कौन से टास्क कंप्लीट हो गए उनको स्ट्राइक ऑफ करते हैं, एंड यू कैन ऐड फ्यू अदर टास्क आल्सो. इवन यू कैन इंक्लूड योर, you see, the personal activities also. I'm keeping in mind in the morning. ये कामिनी जी, this is okay, but please make it a habit of writing on a piece of paper, क्योंकि माइंड से कई बार चीजें निकल जाती हैं. आपने लिखा लिमिटिंग टाइम फॉर सोशल मीडिया, मीटिंग पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड पीपल. यस यस यस, वेरी राइट. Try to surround yourself with people having positive attitude, and always, whenever you enter the department, please smile at everybody. You will feel very happy. तो ठीक है ना. आपसे आप इंस्टीट्यूट में गए, एंटर किया, यू हैव सीन वन स्वीपर स्वीपिंग द फ्लोर. प्लीज वेट फॉर ए मिनट. आप वहां खड़े होइए, अप्रिशिएट कीजिए, यस यू हैव डन ए वंडरफुल जॉब टुडे. क्योंकि हम में से बहुत कम लोग जो हैं, ये जो है ऐसी जो है वो करते हैं. यस, से हेलो टू स्वीपर आल्सो, वंडरफुल वीरुल जी. सेटिंग प्रायोरिटीज. आपने टू डू लिस्ट बनाया, देन उसको शिवानी जी ने बोला, देन यू प्लीज प्रायोरिटाइज योर एक्टिविटीज, पहले कौन सी करनी. क्योंकि बहुत बार क्या होता है, हम लिस्ट, टू डू लिस्ट बनाया, जो सिंपल टास्क है वी ट्राई टू फिनिश इमीडिएटली, जो डिफिकल्ट है या जो लेंथी टास्क है उसको अगले दिन के लिए छोड़ देते हैं, एंड नेक्स्ट डे नेवर कम्स. तो इसलिए आप उनको प्रायोरिटाइज कीजिए. यस, इवन एट टाइम यू से हेलो टू मेंबर फ्रॉम अदर डिपार्टमेंट. और कभी कभी जैसे यू कीप सम, यू सी, ह्यूमन टच आल्सो. सपोज आपका कोलीग जो है वो यस्टरडे ही वाज एब्सेंट, मे बी बिकॉज उसकी वाइफ ढीली थी या बच्चा बेबी ढीला था. तो जब नेक्स्ट डे आता है, तो हाउ वाज योर फैमिली, तो उनको लगता है कि यस कंसर्न है. So whenever you enter the class, enter with an attitude that I am going to enjoy my students.
Yeah, actually, I just want to share that, like in my class also, my students are my strengths, my strength. They listen to me very carefully because I used to motivate them, inspire them by giving some examples, by sharing the experiences. I used to give the examples of the students who are studying in various higher educational institutions like
Hmm.
IITs. Most of the students are doing PhD after BTech only.
Hmm.
So this is the way I inspire my students, and they feel very happy and they work like that.
I just wanted to narrate my story. Earlier, I was a kind of very pessimistic person. A lot of aggression was there in my mind, and many
Okay.
times I felt like nothing is going good in my life. But
Hmm. Hmm.
I listened to so many motivational thoughts. I am not promoting anyone, but I listened BK Shivani and some of the good motivational speakers, and even read motivational books. And one or two sentences in my life entered, or I have blooded them in me. Like, if you are thinking something, if you really want to do something in your life, universe will definitely give it to you. It will not give, it will present it to you as if it's a surprise gift. You can never imagine. So हमें अपनी लाइफ के लिए ना हमेशा prepared रहना चाहिए कि whenever the next thing will come, maybe we should be very much ready for that. And for that readiness, we have to prepare every day, every single minute. If I'm sitting here, so I will not sit talking to you. I will keep moving so that maybe 500 or 600 step will get included in my this walk. This
Correct.
will
Correct.
add to my health. If I'm sitting idle, if I'm having my lunch alone, if my colleagues are not with me, so I will open one book and will read up to a paragraph where I can get a learning. Okay, till
It
I
means
get a
that you
learning,
are
I
doing.
stop there.
It means you are doing not to show to others, but for
No,
your
no.
own personal
Yes.
satisfaction. Yes.
Once you build yourself ना definitely your building कहते हैं ना कि हम अपना बिल्डिंग जो जब खड़ा करेंगे वो दूसरे को दिखाई पड़ेगा तो हमें
बट
दूसरे को नहीं दिखाना है हमें अपना बिल्डिंग
हाँ,
खड़ा करना है एंड
अपनी
डेफिनेटली
सेटिस्फेक्शन के
हम
लिए
विजिबल
करना
हो
है।
जाएंगे
अपनी सेटिस्फेक्शन के लिए करना है और अपने आप
हाँ
विजिबल हो जाएगा। वंडरफुल।
visible हो जाएगा
हाँ जी, हाँ
and
जी, हाँ जी।
people like the colleagues in my office they love what I'm doing they say oh ma'am will not stand here she will move चलो हम भी move करके मैम से बात करते हैं
हाँ, हाँ,
तो it makes me happy कि they are following me maybe they are following only just 10 steps with me but हमें
हाँ।
खुशी होती है कि वो कर रहे हैं जो मैं चाहती हूँ that means universe is helping me to move वो मुझे रोक नहीं रहे हैं बैठने के लिए वो मुझे चलने को कह रहे हैं ये एक सिंपल एग्जांपल है इसी तरह लाइफ में जो करना चाहते हो उसके लिए बिल्कुल एडमिट करो कि मुझे करना है डिटरमिन्ड रहो डेफिनेटली आपके घर के आपके बच्चे आपके बाहर के लोग आपको पुश करेंगे उस चीज को करने के लिए
Time management, or you can reward yourself. You can make an agreement with yourself to give yourself a reward when you complete some task also. Okay. And
या
the
या
most
दिस इज
important
वेरी मच
thing is
इम्पोर्टेंट
the most important thing is that you should love yourself, because you can love and
या
respect others only if you love and respect yourself and believe in yourself, have faith in your capability. Yes, I can do it. And try to carry out some kind of SWOT analysis. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses?
यस
And how
ट्रू
I can overcome my weakness? Can I learn from my junior also? There should not be any hesitation in learning from junior. क्योंकि जो अभी नया प्रोफेसर आया है, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर आया है, वो नई एजुकेशन के साथ आया, नई जो है स्किल के साथ। मैंने 20 साल पहले मास्टर्स किया या बीटेक किया, तो आई कैन लर्न फ्रॉम दिस वन। और साथ ही साथ अपना ना अकम्पलिशमेंट लॉग भी बनाइए। क्रिएट एन अकम्पलिशमेंट लॉग। व्हाट यू कैन डू इज, कई बार क्या होता है,
या
जो जो मैंने बनाया हुआ, द डे आई जॉइंड दिस इंस्टीट्यूशन इन नवंबर 1992, आई हैव बीन यू सी मेंटेनिंग इट। वो मैं क्या करता हूँ कि we
ओके
I prepare two columns on a piece of paper. One column is date and second column is activity which I carried from 9 o'clock till 5:30। क्योंकि इससे क्या होता है, आप जब अगले साल एसीआर भरेंगे, एपीआर भरेंगे, तो आपको डाटा इधर-उधर से ढूँढना नहीं पड़ेगा। बिफोर
ओके
लीविंग योर इंस्टीट्यूट, आप आज आपने एक लेक्चर एंगेज किया, आपने एक पेपर लिखा या कुछ किया, जो भी एक्टिविटी की, वो आप उसमें 2-3 लाइनें लिख के जाइए। मैं आपको ना एक जस्ट एक सैंपल दिखाता हूँ जो मैं करता हूँ। आई कैन शेयर। ये देखिए, ये मैंने 2020 से मैंने जो है वो मेंटेन करना किया कंप्यूटर पे। पहले मैं हाथ से लिखता था, अब देखिए लिखा सैटरडे
हम्म
बट एंगेज MEC RM क्लास फ्रॉम 11 से 1 अपडेटिंग RTI मैनुअल, प्रिपेयर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ अटल FDP एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ CP 114, संडे
अच्छा सर,
अटेंडेड ए
एक
वेबिनार।
क्वेरी है मेरी। सर, एक
हाँ,
क्वेरी है मेरी। एक्चुअली कई बार हमारा टास्क एक जैसा जाता है, तो डजंट इट बिकम अ काइंड ऑफ मोनोटोनस टाइप ऑफ
तो
थिंग
फिर
वी आर
क्या हो गया?
राइटिंग एवरी डे?
एटलीस्ट डजंट
अच्छा।
मैटर। अब हर रोज का लिखिए, सैटरडे का भी, संडे
हम्म
का। देखो 21 सितंबर लिखा, वर्क इन इंस्टीट्यूट फ्रॉम 9 AM to 5:30, ठीक है, फॉर पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन द
हम्म
पैनल डिस्कशन ऑन मेकिंग दिस ऑर्गेनाइज बाय ऑल, प्रिपेयर इट्स रिपोर्ट, preparing for Hindi contest,
हम्म
RTI reply, prepared comparative
हम्म
statement for online application, OMR printing, etc. क्योंकि ये सितंबर 2020 में
हम्म
वो था, क्लोज डाउन था, वर्क फ्रॉम होम था, बट आई
हम्म
वर्क, ये लिखा है। तो मैंने ये देखो, ये हर रोज का मैंने करते, ये पूरा का पूरा अप टू डेट ये देखिए किया हुआ है। ये आज का भी मैंने
यस
लिखा है, 14 तारीख, कोऑर्डिनेटिंग दिस कोर्स
यस,
एंड एंगेज द डिस्कशन सेशन, वर्क फॉर जर्नल एंड न्यूज़लेटर, वर्क फॉर दिस
वेरी गुड।
प्रोजेक्ट, आरटीआई रिप्लाई दिया, गाइडिंग PhD स्कॉलर।
दिस इज अ गुड थिंग। आई एम गोइंग टू स्टार्ट विद
हाँ,
माय
इसको आप
डेली
प्लीज करिए।
रूटीन।
इससे क्या होगा, मैं आपको बताता हूँ, मेरे कुलीग मेरे से कई बार पूछते हैं कि डॉक्टर दत्त यार, पिछले साल मैंने क्या क्या काम किया था। तो मैं उनको बोलता हूँ कि भैया, जो मैंने
हम्म
और आपने इकट्ठे मिलकर किया वो तो मेरे पास डाटा है, पर जो आपने अकेले किया वो मेरे पास डाटा नहीं है। जाने से पहले
आई
हर
विल।
5 मिनट लगते हैं आपको लिखने के लिए, और यहाँ अगले दिन सुबह आते हैं तो उस समय आप टाइप कर दीजिए। आप एक तो पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड रखिए दूसरों के प्रति, अपने लिए स्मार्ट गोल्स एस्टेब्लिश कीजिए। स्मार्ट में यू कैन आल्सो प्रिपेयर एन एक्शन प्लान, कि जैसे स्मार्ट मीन्स S स्टैंड फॉर स्पेसिफिक, M स्टैंड फॉर मेजरेबल, A स्टैंड फॉर अटेनेबल, R स्टैंड फॉर रेलेवेंट, T स्टैंड फॉर टाइम बाउंड। तो ये सारी चीजें करने से यू विल बी मोटिवेटेड, और जब आप मोटिवेटेड हैं यू कैन इंस्पायर अदर्स। यू कैन नॉट मोटिवेट अदर्स, मोटिवेशन हैज टू बी डन बाय वन सेल्फ ओनली। दूसरा व्यक्ति सिर्फ इंस्पायर कर सकता है। So thank you once again to all of you.